Good afternoon, sports fans. It's September 30th. I'm Greg Flanagan coming from you from beautiful Shem Creek, South Carolina, actually Charleston, Mount Pleasant area. And it's the weekly update for real estate here in the area. What's happened? Well, we had Helene come through, and unfortunately, it devastated upstate and North Carolina. We pray for those folks. If you want to donate, I can give you resources right below here in the comments. And a lot of good things going on there, helping a lot of people. We're sorry to hear they did. We had a little bit of an incident on the morning of the 27th. We were headed up to Richmond, Virginia, and I didn't plan to get out of bed until 6:30, 7 o'clock, start the trip up there. And for my birthday present, at 4:30, the alarms went off and said we had a tornado warning, meaning that, hey, there's a tornado down the block. And I guess it did come ashore. Nothing really major happened. A couple of hours of worry, I guess, but we were spared. We were spared, unlike Greenville and up that way. But let's hope they get out of it. All right, so I would expect next week we're going to have a little bit of an impact on our sales due to Hurricane Helene, as we saw a couple of weeks back when we had the unnamed tropical storm, which dumped 15 inches on us. I haven't figured that one out yet, folks, but we'll get there. All right, so this month so far, we've been running on average. We did about 1,200 sales, and 26% of those are new homes again. And that's what's driving this market. You know, if you look back into 2009, 10, and 11, 30% of the market was foreclosures. Now it's 26 to 30% new homes. When in gosh name are we going to do, regular old just business lateral transfers? I would love to see 30% lateral transfers, one neighborhood to another neighborhood, where people in smaller houses get bigger houses can get smaller, just to make it nice so that everybody gets along. Right now we have old folks in huge houses. They want to downsize, but they can't get there. And we've got young couples with kids, 3, 4 kids, packed into these tiny 1,200 square foot homes, and they're trying to move up. So if you have an opportunity to sell your house and somebody else needs that house, let me know, because we have a lot of people waiting in the wings that you don't see out there. Maybe we can make some kind of off-market deal. Happy to do it for you, and we'll move that market around a little bit. It is a market that needs a lot of homes. Our existing homes last week, in the last 7 days, we've only put 240 of the existing homes under contract. That's a pretty big geographical area, and only 240. New home people did 62 contracts last week. So about 300 went under contract, which is running about right. 300 a week, 4 weeks, and last month we sold 1,198 homes, right? So we're at a pretty good level of homes being sold as they come on the market. There are a plethora of homes sitting out there for days upon days upon days, months even. I looked at one this morning that I know should be priced somewhere in the low 7s, but it's high in the upper 7s. That's what's going to make it sit there. You can't take a 1992 house and expect to get the same price as a brand new house that they're selling at $790. You've got to reduce your price. You got to be smart. So look at that. If you are sitting on the market, talk to your agent and get a price adjustment. Okay. Just because everybody else is getting $790 doesn't mean you're worth $790, even for the same size house. Okay. If your house was built in the early 90s, you don't have all the hurricane stuff that we implemented in the 90s after Hugo. So be wary of that. It's decision time. It's quarter 4, fourth quarter as of tomorrow, right? I don't know. September's got 31 or 30. I don't do the knuckle thing. I can't never figure that out. But starting tomorrow, we are going to be in the fourth quarter, and that's a tough quarter for some people. For me, it's a pretty good quarter. It's decision-making quarter. And this is when you sit down with your family. What are we going to do next year? A lot of people make the decision to move. And if they're making a decision to move on today's announcements, you know, rates are into 6.2 for conventional and down into fives for FHA, but they're starting to inch back up. They're, I'm hearing sound that FHA is going to be raising the minimums. Right now, it's somewhere in the mid sevens. It's going up to 800,000. It's kind of it's still up in the air. But as I always say, you got to buy a house when you have to buy a house. It really doesn't come down to what the interest rate is or the price of the house. As long as the payments meet, you will find a way to buy a house. So this is the time to look. This is the time to start making your decisions. If you need a house before January, it's a great time to list a home. Again, I think we spoke about it the last time. Your house is probably in a great shape because you got holidays coming around, the family's in town, it smells good, it looks good, it's pretty, you got it all decked out for the fall, and it's a great time to show your house. If you're going to wait till the springtime, you're going to run into more competition. You're going to have more tire kickers, looky-loos. They're going to have more opportunity to look at multiple houses. Right now, I think we're down to 4 showings, and you're going to get, at least an offer. If you're overpriced and you go 2 weeks or 10 showings and nobody's offered you a lowball offer, then you're priced too high. You're priced too high. The people in the market are smart. They understand what they're looking at because they've seen everything else and they've seen all the other prices. So if you're sitting up here, hopefully some northern person bumping their head, then you're going to sit there for a long time. Don't let that happen. Get it out there. So it's decision time. Let me know what I can do to help. Happy to take your phone calls, 843-952-4444. Have a little conversation. We are down to me on this team. I spent 4 years helping about 8 different agents build their own business or get out of the business, whichever which came at first. And it's time for Greg again. So you're going to be dealing directly with me, and got close to 20 years of doing this, and I think I have an idea what I'm doing. If I don't, I'm in trouble. But all right, 843-952-4444. If you got any questions, drop them in the box. If you're looking to help North Carolina, the Chimney Rock, we were just up there in February. Man, I'll tell you what, it's a pretty place. They got a lot of rivers, but unfortunately it's in a little valley, and all those mountains just shed that water down there. And Lake Lore, the little dam they have at the end. If you're from upstate New York, you know the Gilboa Reservoir. The Gilboa Reservoir looks like the Hoover Dam compared to this thing. But that was almost knocked offline. I mean, it almost pushed the water through. As it was over the dam quite a height. So pray for those folks. Help them out a little bit. I'm Greg Flanagan. Give me a holler.